Okay, yabba dabba do, as they say. I don't know who says that. Fred Flintstone says that, actually. And now me. So, it's Wednesday, eCommerce Wednesday, which is always fun. So let me just get the slide. There we go. And let me just make it so you can see all of it, which would be great, because then it would be more e-commercey. No, it won't, but it'll be easier to see everything. Right, there we go. So let me just check if it's kind of working. It's a bit inconvenient. Okay. There we go. Let me just make it. Yeah, it is brilliant. Okay, so that's that. Let me just make sure I didn't ruin that. Let's get rid of that, actually. Yeah, no, we're still there. Right, okay. Yeah. Yeah, so e-commerce. So tonight we're going to talk about higher hanging fruit, which is odd, isn't it? Because normally we talk about low hanging fruit and that kind of stuff. So somebody said something tonight, and it's kind of true, but it kind of isn't. So I kind of thought that then became important. So that's why we're talking about it now. So the thing about low-hanging fruit is that there'll be a small percentage of people who want to buy, usually impulse buys, but it could be something that they've thought about for a long time, right now, today. Okay, but and they're the low-hanging fruit. Right? Now, this is now the problem where modality comes into, because if your ads were on Google search and they used a buying phrase like stockist or something like that, or buy socks today, or buy socks or something like that, an actual buying phrase, and they're proactively looking for it, then they are low-hanging fruit buyers. Okay, so those sort of people would also be looking at the Google shopping feed, or whatever it's called now, and when they see product pictures with prices, then they're the buyers. Okay, but again, that's all low-hanging fruit, LHF. All right. But the trouble is that when you do like Facebook ads, they appear in the social stream, and people are in the modality of talking to their mates or mum or whatever, or even working, God forbid. Maybe they're doing something for work. So they're not there. They're not proactively looking for buying phrases, and they're not proactively looking to buy socks. Now it may be that some of them are thinking that they need to buy socks. I'm just using socks as an example. In which case your low-hanging fruit ad might work. But the reality is that again, we can argue about the percentages, but 90% or more, really, to be honest, probably 99%, are not interested. In particular, right now. Okay, and even if they're kind of tire kickers or goldfish who just follow shiny objects. Actually, that's the little birdie does that, isn't it? But anyway, but if they're easily distracted and they're kind of window shopping, Okay, there's nothing wrong with these people. It's just that they're window shoppers. Okay, that's all right. It's fine. It's it's great. But they're window shoppers, so that just means that they'll look at stuff and they won't buy. Okay, which is great. No problem with that at all. Except that if you're running an e-commerce store, window shoppers don't help you. Okay, window shoppers need to change to be buyers at some point, and that's the point. Now, this is where the problem comes in. So, there is some. Maybe I'll do a circle. Can I bother this? Yes, do a circle. I don't know if we need that or not. Anyway, there is some low-hanging fruit. Okay, there are people who have been thinking about buying socks, who have the ability and authority and urge to buy socks today. And they may do it. And this is the problem, because everybody's thinking about those. And if you run a campaign and you sell some, you think whoopee, you've struck gold, and that you can do that all day long. But the trouble is that you probably can't do that all day long. Okay, that's the problem. We're excited and it worked once and we get the low-hanging fruit, but how much low-hanging fruit is there? And can we keep digging into it? Okay, so the bottom line is that most people will not be ready. Okay, and we can argue about the percentage, but I think it's fairly well been proven that it's something like 97% aren't ready to buy right now. Maybe an extra 7% could be persuaded with the right circumstances, but it's basically not that many. You're at least leaving 80%. No, sorry, 90%. At least leaving 90% of money on the table, really, because 90% of them aren't ready to buy today. And if you're running an advert, directly to your offer, your product in your e-commerce store, then then you're missing all those people. So it's probably more like 0.1% to be honest, but it's probably no more than 3% anyway. So that's supposed to be a point. There we go. But it could be very few. So that's like I think that's 1 in 1,000 or something. So 1 in 1,000 click-throughs might buy, but for most of us, 1,000 click-throughs might cost us $1,000, or at least $10. And the profit on one pair of socks is probably not, it's probably very close to $10. So you might not break even. Even if you do break even, it's not an easy life, is it? Selling one pair of socks in 1,000 click-throughs, even if you can get the cheap traffic. So that's why people tend to, or the gurus tend to advise against kind of direct selling, if you like, because these odds are very small. So that's why the gurus talk of branding, community, engaging content, list building, all the things that basically will give you a result down the road. Okay, so that you can talk to them when they are ready to when they are ready to buy. Okay, so it means you don't waste your traffic, but obviously that puts a big time delay in there, and it means you're not selling anything. And sorry, remarketing pixel should be another definitely one I put in there. Okay, yeah, remarketing. So yeah, they say that these are all the things to to not waste your ad budget and to get ROI, and it's basically true, and it's certainly important in terms of ROI, ad budget, call it ROI ads, I think, but it's got its delays, and and you've got a lot of work to do to convert them. So you have to do crazy things like follow up and run these remarketing campaigns, and sorry, I didn't mean to do that. And that kind of stuff. Okay, so basically the trouble with that is it equals work, and nobody really likes working that much, as far as I can tell. So that's what we need to do to get ROI, but it involves work, so there's an issue. Now the other thing, of course, going this long route round, which apparently it abbreviates to rude. So the long route round is rude. I'm inventing a language here, you see. It's not Klingon, but it's close, I think. Where I just make words up. Anyway, so the trouble with this, engagement, branding, community stuff, is the time it takes, and also it misses out on the low-hanging fruit. So that's my concern. Is that's why it's true, but it's not true, because we don't want to miss out on the low-hanging fruit. Okay, because that could be something that we could benefit from right now. So how can we change our stores so that we can appeal to both of these things? How can I do that? So I'm just trying to get everything to fit on the screen. I'm making a hash of that. Okay, so something like that. So how can we how can we appeal to both of these things at the same time? Okay, because that was my issue with what he said. It's true, but it's it's an issue, because then we're missing out on the on the thing. So the bottom line is that we need to be able to to sell, i.e. to the low-hanging fruit, and for people to know that they can buy. They're not just window shopping. We actually want them to buy, and there's nothing wrong with telling them, knowing that we want them to buy. In fact, we need them to know that we want them to buy. But it's also cool if they're not buying right now, because we can entertain them or tell them, or get them to the stage where they're ready to buy or happy to buy, or they know enough to buy, or whatever their roadblocks are. We can remove them so that they can buy. We want to enable buyers. So what should we sell? What should we not sell? What should we say this process is? So it's not really entertainment, but I'm going to call it entertainment just for a minute. Entertainment plus knowledge to buy. There we are. KTB. You've invented a TLA. Fantastic. Knowledge to buy. I better put that in, because I'm going to forget what that means. Okay, knowledge to buy. Let's call it enabled to buy. That's even better. GitHub. There we go. So how can we do that? So basically you know, as an overview, you know, sort of design-wise and you know, shape-wise and you know all that. You know, the classic thing is to have, you know, content, yeah, which is the entertaining bit and all that, and ads. Now that's the classic thing. You know, and they might be side ads, they might be top ads, they might be contextual ads within the, you know, the middle of the thing. But you know, the trouble is that wherever they are, people tend to go ad blind on it. Okay, you know, they ignore what they're seeing, which isn't so great. So, you know, how do we get around that? And also, you know, actually, you know, practically in terms of a store, you know, how do we convert a store to be, you know, to display content? Now, if it's WordPress or something, then it's easy. But if you've got something like a Shopify store, it doesn't really have, you know, a super easy way of doing a blog. Or if it does, the blog is separated from the shop, and again, that's not ideal. So how can we improve on this kind of thing where they get ad blind, you know, versus the, you know, completely kind of, you know, separate. Let me put that in. It's another illustration if we can. You know, this kind of separated, you know, thing. Yeah, we have content on one bit of the site and, you know, ads on another, and the trouble is that they are, you know, basically separated by, you know, some means, because they're not in the same kind of space. But again, if we put them in the same kind of space, then people can go ad blind. So this is not an easy thing to solve, as you can imagine. So how can we, yeah, how can we do this? So the solution really is, well, one solution, which is what this particular guru suggested, was to, I might need that actually, is to run to some sort of, you know, webinar or video, or, you know, write up. So not maybe not necessarily a review, but some kind of, you know, product, you know, product-based content, value-based content. You know, this is what you can get out of owning this product. You know, that kind of thing. Okay. There we are. And in that same, you know, event, or at the end of the event, it actually leads directly to and integrates with, or however you want to phrase that. Get over here. There we go. It actually, you know, segues basically into, you know, let's make that colour, into, you know, the close, okay, of, yeah, of the event. So let's call it an event sales close. Okay, so that's one method, and that's probably, yeah, that's legitimate. There's nothing wrong with that, except that you may not, you know, necessarily fantastically, you know, want to do webinars and events for, you know, every product that you've got. Actually, I'm going to get rid of that. So that excuse me. So that's, you know, that's an issue. But that's certainly one, you know, one other option to do it like that. So I think I'm going to do this on a new page. Let's duplicate that though. So my version to get at the higher, hanging fruit. I'll leave that in as well. Is to not integrate it so they're ad blind, but not to separate it so that it's separated. So obviously that makes no sense. But okay, as I say, we don't need to hide that we're buying. We just need to give them, room to enjoy, the kind of content end of it. What will happen, with it, and again, we don't want to be in a situation where we go from content to sales, because that's going to be an awkward transition. So we want the the sales bit to be in, a part of. That's really the key here. A part of, the content. Okay, without apologising for it and without trying to hide the fact that we're selling something. There's no need to hide it. They're there to, decide if they want to buy it or not. So, but obviously, the concept is to buy. So, this isn't, just, a kind of a version of, in contextual ads. Okay, I know it from that diagram. It looks like that. Okay, but it's not just contextual ads. Okay, it's really closer to editorial, because in an editorial, you kind of have a case study, and where you sell the solution, and then you how should we phrase it? You kind of give them their own case study. You show them what their future is like, with this, to reaffirm, how what you've just said will actually work out for them, which is what they're really interested in. They probably entertained by your story, they believe you, but ultimately everybody's concerned that but will it work for me? And that's what we need to to make sure that we've got solved with this. So it's more like editorial, really. But also, if you think of things like, should we do this? With that, I guess. If you think of things like, the QVC shopping channel, or whatever, your version is, wherever you are. I don't know if you have. I have QVC in England. I don't know if you have it where you are. I think you do. But something like that. Or info commercials. I'm sure you've seen those kind of things. They don't disguise the fact that they're basically editorial. Actually, I suppose I should have really called that advertorial. But maybe that's the line we need to, to balance now. But the shopping channels make no apology that they're selling, but they're making sure that they sell in an entertaining way. Okay, and that's really, the thing. And also, if you think about it in terms of, doing that, which I guess, again, we, could come up with another word, edutainment. Okay, these are all, words that have existed for centuries. It's actually preferable to branding. Okay, and it's more purposeful in terms of engaging, and it's not out and out list building, because you're actually entertaining them. You can definitely use remarketing to do that, subtly, So even if you're not collecting emails, you're collecting pixels, for want of a better word, of your buyers, so that you can, follow up. Okay, because following up is good. But the other thing about edutainment and advertorial is that the close is it's part of what you're delivering. Okay, so it's not later on we'll close them. It's the event, part of the event, not the end of the event. Okay, we just remember it's not. We don't want to switch between content and selling. We want to make the close absolutely a part of the content. Okay, that's the most important thing that we can do there. Hang on, let me just make that. There we go. That's the subtlety that you really need to have to make this work. Okay, so the close is an integral part of this kind of thing, and also because it's editorial / advertorial, it's also kind of immediately defining your authority and your entertainmentness. I'm not sure that's even a word, but you know what I mean by that. So I'm going to invent that word, entertainmentness. That's great. We just invented that word just like that. Anyway, so there we are. So this might seem subtle, but look at the options. We can either only go for the low-hanging fruit, which will work some of the time, but not enough to guarantee that we're going to get ROI from all of our ad campaigns. It might be that 1 in 5 of our ad campaigns are okay. I don't know which way to colour that. Anyway, let's do red and green that way around, I think. So we can either go one way or the other. If we go the short way to the low hanging fruit, we're losing leaving a load of money on the table, and our ads might be low ad ROI basically. Whereas if we go the guru approach and we concentrate on brand, so this is kind of direct marketing, and then this is kind of brand, and it's always been that really it shouldn't be one or the other. Okay, it never should really ever be one or the other. But somehow we want to do both of these at once. But so if we go this way, it may not get added ROI. If we go this way, it's going to add time and work. Okay, which nobody seems to want to do. If we do the conventional, old as the hills kind of thing, adverts next to content, that's fine, except that people go ad blind, and the effectiveness of this is very low. If we kind of have a content site like a blog or something like that, where we only do content, and then we link to the sales, we're separating that ourselves, which again is not good. Okay, but that's the most popular common version. Okay, but this isn't good. If we do the guru approach of having an event or a video that actually integrates both, that's okay. But again, that's a lot of work to do that for a lot of products. Whereas if you do my version, the KETB kind of version, I don't know if that's what we call the system, but let's call it that for now. We're making the sales a part of the content. Okay, we're not apologizing for selling, but we're not blatantly selling that there is no value. So it's value plus close. Okay, which is probably what we should call it. Actually, it's quite nice. Value plus close. So that's the name of the system that we just invented. But that's really, that's kind of the best of all worlds. It's branding, it's content, it's engaging, it's relationship building. It's everything that you could want in one thing, and it's purely about getting the balance right. And as I say, if you think of the shopping channels and the info commercials, they don't apologise that they're selling. They also don't apologise that they're giving content. And the only variance of that is that we don't need to spend half an hour or an hour to do each product. Okay, because that's really the kind of infomercial kind of way, in shopping channel kind of way. We want to do that with our content, in a similar way. Okay, so what's the absolute easiest way? What's the 10-second? This is all very nice. Okay, very nice, Pete. But life's short. What's the 10-second way? Okay. What's the 10-second way of doing this? Okay. How can I do this over for 100 products? How can I possibly do this for 100 products? It's a good question, isn't it? Can I answer it? I think I can. So I don't know if I'm going to do that. I'll take that off now. But anyway, what we want to do, basically, is, as I say, we want them to know. We want them to realise that it's not just about window shopping. We're here to sell stuff. So that's what the store is, because this is probably your store. Hang on, let me send that to back. I've got to mop that down. Hang on. There we go. Okay. So the 10-second way is basically, let's do that, is to have the first bit of your content as text, but non-sales text. So it's about it's not a case study, but it's kind of it's a story, let's call it that, or case study in case you have to think. Okay, that's what Amazon have created. When you go to Amazon, it's a place to buy. Now your store should also be a place to buy, but you don't have the sheer mass and I don't even know what we'd call it, but the kahunas to sell stuff. Okay, you don't go to Amazon for entertainment. You go to Amazon to buy. That's what they've done. So they're really only appealing to the low-hanging fruit. But the thing about Amazon is that their low-hanging fruit is is 17 whatever it is billion per quarter. Okay, they only do low-hanging fruit, but they have $17 billion worth of it every quarter. Okay. You and I probably don't have access to that volume of stuff. Okay, but also neither do we have the time to go this hugely long route of brand marketing. And we know that the direct marketing is only going to be a very low percentage, and we probably going to have a hard job to get ROI with it. Whereas when we take this shopping channel kind of path, but not over hours, and we do advertorial stroke editorial stuff, which builds our authority and gives us that word we've invented, entertainmentness, then it's better than branding, and it's not just pure content, and it's not sleazy in terms of list building or anything. It's just exactly what we want. Where's my slide gone? Hang on, why are they in the wrong order? There we are. Must have moved that at some point. Yeah, so Amazon only do low-hanging fruit, but as I say, they've got $17 billion of it a quarter, to choose from. We don't have that luxury. So when we do this approach, where we don't apologise for what we're selling, but we change from, we change the framing, and the story and the messaging. I should probably put there, from being, a product copywriter versus a, what should we call that now? Some other type of copywriter. Really, I'm for now. I'm just going to call it, storyteller copywriter. Okay, because you're telling the story of, the value of owning the product, for others and for them. Okay, I don't know what on earth I've written there because I wasn't watching. Let's just shrink that down a bit because I don't think that's going to fit. Good being. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, and that's really the thing. But as I've I'm saying all the time, and particularly on Monday's show about copywriting, it's about telling a story. Okay, so we're not. It's a bit paradoxical, but we're not going to sell the most by writing great product copy. Okay, because product copy is for people who know that they want to buy the product already, really, and they're just looking for the most entertaining version of that. But when we've got these people who aren't necessarily ready to buy today, and we're trying to get them on board, but if they're ready, they can buy today. Okay, but the main thing about this is look at this. This isn't a blog separated. Where was it? This isn't a blog separated from a shop. Okay. It's not as intensive and as hard work as a webinar or an event leading, or a single video leading to a close. Okay, which is a bit tacky. It's a skill. You have to be able to pull that off. And it's not just ads next to content, which leads to ad blindness. And it's not just incontextual ads in a bit of content. Okay, we're going the micro the micro time really, the micro time shopping channel. Okay, that's what we're really doing. And you see, it's no apology that it's a shop. At any time they can buy. Okay, because there's a buy button. That's what the close is. But instead of just being product copy, which is the the logical thing to do. I mean, it's not intuitive that if you own a shop that you wouldn't write product copy. You imagine that you'd write product copy. You imagine that your bullet points of the the features of the product in a shop would be the most important thing, but it isn't, because that's only for the people who are ready to buy today. What we're saying is that because this 90% of the people aren't ready to buy today, that we need to engage them enough. Well, this is engaging enough. They've got something to read. They've got 2 complete Wi-Fi FM results in advance kind of videos. Obviously there's going to be pictures in here as well. I just didn't put those in. What looks like a picture? Nothing really. That. Hey, come on. There we go. They've got pictures to look at. It's all pretty, and most product photos are actually beautiful. Really, they're done really well. So they're very arty, really. But so we've got all these images and everything for them to look at. Another one. So it's highly beautiful. Okay. But it's obviously selling. But it's entertaining because we've got the beautiful art, we've got the text, we've got 2 videos, and we got the thing. Now there'll probably also be, I'm not going to be able to fit everything in, but anyway, there'll probably also be, well, actually we could probably just put it over there, and then I can copy that as well. Yeah, there'll probably also be a, an actual product video. Okay, so any product videos you made are absolutely not wasted. It's just that we're not just only offering a product video or tour. Okay, we're actually offering this engaging content, which, as I say, is about the value of what we sell and what it's like, to own the product. So it's more like product price placement or things like that. But it's the value. There is value in the content because it is entertaining, valuable content. If they already own the product, then they're going to get full value out of it. If they don't own the product yet, then obviously this is the time they could buy it. Okay, and this option is always open to them. But again, as I say, it's not a separate blog and shop. It's not content which is intermingled like this kind of thing, or in contextual buying. Okay, it's and it's not fly. I forgot what that word is now, but the interspatial ads. Okay. Okay, these are all ways that people try and trick people into watching the adverts next to the content. Okay, the age-old model, adverts next to the content. But people are ad blind and suspicious. Here we're just coming clean. We're just saying we're here to sell. But this is all content. This, and this, all content. Okay, the beauty of the art of the pictures and everything. And the models and all of that, right there. Okay, so window shoppers can be happy too. Okay, but if you actually want to, experience, own the, the value in the product that we're talking about here, and here, then you buy it. And to help you buy it, here are the facts. And here's the product video tour, whatever it is. So there's no doubt in your mind. And maybe this includes social proof and everything as well. So you've got all your elements in there. Okay, but hopefully that's apparent why it's different. Okay, it's not this, it's not this, it's not this. It's also not this, and it's not that. It's actually a new hybrid of the best bits of everything, and it's in one place. This is the shop page, and nearly, I think, every shop page that I can think of lets you add multiple content areas. So there's nothing to stop you having more than one video, and it's nothing to stop you having two of those videos being content videos. And there's nothing which says that the content you write has to be product copy. Okay, it can be entertaining stuff about the value of what the product brings, and then obviously you can do your normal stuff, feature benefits, product description, and have a product tour video, and social proof in there and whatever, and then that's all surrounded by the beauty of the art of the product. And all the photo shoots and all that, and people enjoying it, and all that kind of stuff that makes you feel good. And it gives us massive authority. It's not branding, although obviously this is about us. This is your presenter. The information from the whatever shop, but it is content. So it's branded, but it's not branding. Okay, I suppose I should write that in as well. So it's branded, not branding. Okay, so and as I say, there's immediacy in this. We're saying we're a shop, you can buy it. Okay, there's no doubt about that. There's a big buy button down there. but we're being engaging by offering high value content at the same time, and they're not having to go somewhere else and come back. We're not having to send traffic to an article and then doing contextual ads or something. We're just saying, this is our shop, but in our shop we tell you the value of the product, without being a pushy salesman. Okay, and there we go. So have a think about it. But I think it's fairly different, to be honest. It's not that, it's not that, it's not that, it's not this, and it's not that. Okay, it's something different where we just don't apologise for what we're doing, but we do what we do really well. Okay, and it's just framing and messaging like we do every Monday, and it's just changing from being a product copywriter into basically a storyteller copywriter. And and the audience will join the dots for themselves. You don't have to go into cheese mode and go, so now buy it, or anything like that. They'll connect the dots very happily on their own. Okay, you tell them what the advantage of using the product is, what they'll enjoy about it, and they'll go, I want that, and then they'll make up their own minds, which is the perfect close, really. Okay, it's the perfect close when they choose to click the buy button on their own. So that's it. So that was just kind of a weird conceptual thing, but I think I think it really hits the nails on the head, because we're not leaving any doors open here. We're not being cheesy or salesy. We're not only being content-y. We're being an authority. And as I say, it's branded, but not branding. It's not. It's I don't know what the other option is there, but it's not. It's not direct sales, but it is story value. Okay, or results in advance, whatever you want to call it. So I think that's I don't think anybody will have a problem with that. It meets all criteria, all in one easy thing. It sets the modality of what's going on. There's no reason why you wouldn't appear in search for these things, and there's no harm having the buy button right next to it. So it's almost the opposite of interstation, in that it's not an ad within the copy, it's copy within the ad, almost. Kind of, not exactly. Not interstation, of contextual, sorry. It's copy inside ad. Okay, can't see that, of course. There we go. Okay, so it's kind of that. I don't know what we'd call this, but something like KETB or something, or value plus close. I quite like that, value plus close, really. Quite like that. Okay, so that's it. So I'll see you tomorrow for the next show, or I'll see you next Wednesday for the next e-commerce extravaganza. So that's it. Talk to you then. Bye for now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.